Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today let's take a look at the 2025 Cadillac Escalade. This is the four-wheel drive sport. Huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Northlake for providing this SUV for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. This model here is finished off in white along with the gloss black accents, and the sports start just over $103,000. Now this is powered by the 6.2 liter V8. It's paired to the 10-speed automatic. It pumps out 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque. It's primarily rear-wheel drive, but does have a four-wheel drive system. Weighs in just under 6,200 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds with a top speed of 125 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 24 gallons, and you'll expect to see 14 miles per gallon in the city and 18 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 134 inches. Its overall length is 227. It has a width of 81, a height of 76, and its ground clearance measures in at 6.9 inches. Now, as we take a look at the exterior styling for this latest Cadillac model, there are some slight revisions for the exterior. For this particular model, you will notice a lot of gloss black, and that's on the Cadillac badge itself, which is unique to see. There's a forward-facing camera, all of the V logos within that grille too, with lots of cutouts to provide additional cooling. Now there's also a separated design for all of the lights up front. You'll notice a thin strip in the upper section and then a massive housing in that vertical design with some more gloss black accents. It's also in the lower bumper where there's parking sensors and then a sensor for distance pacing too. And then a few lines that come down the hood to give it a great look. Now this particular Escalade is also rocking a set of 26-inch wheels, which give it a really nice look, and of course being finished off in gloss black matches the rest of this theme. Now there's also power folding side mirrors with a camera and a turn signal, and you will notice the entire gloss black roof there where there is gloss black roof racks along with the full moonroof. And there's also some very nice lines that run down the side and more gloss black for that lower side skirt. Now in back, you'll notice that the wiper blade and the third brake light are up top. There's also LEDs for all of the lighting. There's the backup camera, all of the parking sensors, more gloss black for the bumper there, along with the dual exhaust. This can even tow right around 7,300 pounds. And then it does feature remote start. So let's lock it and double tap this button, bring that V8 to life. And then if you just hold on that button, that is how you can shut the vehicle off. Now what's really cool about the Escalade is that you have two different ways to gain access to your cargo space. You have one button on this side where you can actually just lift up the glass. Now this is a 3-row SUV, and that is the 3rd row currently up. You have a lot of space to place in items for this model. Now if you wanted to open up the liftgate, you can simply just push on the emblem there, or of course you can use the key fob as needed. So now with that up, this model is equipped with the AKG audio. You'll notice there's also a 3-prong outlet along with controls for the 3rd row. Now the 3rd row is automatic up and down, but as you can tell, the 2nd row is currently in the way. So all I need to do is double tap on this button and that seat will fold flat. And then from there, you can fold down the 3rd row. Now the 2nd row is manual to put back up, but in a pinch like what I just did, you were able to get that much more cargo space and then quickly put that 3rd row back up. So I really like that process, very easy to do. You'll notice too, underneath the floor, when you open this up, you do have a little bit of space where you can maybe place the cover or some items in that farther section there. And then up top, you have one button and you can close that lift gate. Now as we work our way to the interior, you'll notice there's ambient lighting on the upper section of the door handles and the electronic release is on the inside. So the door handle doesn't separate from the body. And you'll notice this model has power side steps which will deploy. Now there's some really nice trim accents located throughout this. There's also the window control, lock and unlock, and then more storage down below. Now with the captain chairs for the 2nd row, if you pull on this rear latch once, this is how you can fold the seat to this position. Pull on it one more time and you can flip that up where you have an ample amount of space to walk into this 3rd row where it is a 3-seater. And as you can tell, plenty of space down below. If you're in the middle, you have no obstructions right there. And then at 5'10", I have about 2.5 inches of headroom. So I could honestly fit comfortably and be in the back. I have a cup holder, an auxiliary, an armrest here, large cargo windows as well. So it's very spacious in the back, especially if you have a lot of people all of the time. Then it's very easy to fold that flat, lift it, and lock it into place. And then the lever in the front can be used to slide this seat back. Now you also have a grab handle for both of your passengers. And then there's some cargo nets in the back. You have heated seats with all the climate adjustments. Underneath that, there's 2 cup holders and then some auxiliaries down below. And then at my height, again, I have probably about the same as the third row, to be honest, but I can also fully recline this seat and get a lot more comfortable. There's also adjustable armrests that you can use as well, and you just have a good bit of space. Now, as we work our way to the front doors, you'll notice the small Cadillac emblem is how you can lock and unlock it with your finger there. This gets memory seats up front. You have the window control, side mirror adjustments, and plenty of storage down below. And then a nice design for these seats with speakers also in the headrests and that small V badge as well. Now, as we start this up, we are greeted with this massive curved screen, which is new for the Cadillac. You even have a screen on the passenger side there. Now, this model is equipped with Super Cruise. Hopefully you saw that green light indicator there. That is for that system when it is in use. This also has paddle shifters on both sides. And then on the right, there's volume. You have shortcuts to your music, your voice commands, and tuning. This control right here allows you to go through a few settings for the gauge cluster. So right now we're on gauge. We can also pull up Google Map in full screen there. There's driver assistance, so you have this icon, and then the augmented reality camera system, so you can pull that up in full screen. Very easy to go through that information there. And then on the left side, there's the Super Cruise, distance pacing, heated steering wheel, and then you also have a low range gear, so you can use that when you are in drive, of course, and then there's plus and minus for your speed with cruise control. Now, this is equipped with a trailer braking system, an e-brake, and a dimmer switch. You have all of the 4-wheel drive selectors, including a few different driving modes that you can gain access to. So there's Tour, Sport, Off-Road, Tow and Haul, and then a My mode where you can customize the engine sound, the suspension, and the steering, which is pretty neat to see. Now, as we work our way back to this center screen, you have shortcuts in the lower section, including the release for the glove box, so you can gain access there. And then you have several icons that you can go through here depending on what you'd like to see. There's also more shortcuts located down below, so you can get into your phone, pull up the music. There's also a split view that you can monitor, and you have the home screen, which is back to this screen here. You can get into My Cadillac and go through some more information, where you also notice there's some trip information on this left side here, and then you have a few icons in that lower right. Now, under My Cadillac, you can see you have some items, including the owner's manual, that you can get into. So very helpful to see that. You'll notice a really nice trim accent that goes to the passenger side with the air vents underneath that. And then with the screen down below, you have a lot more to get into. So you have all of the climate adjustments, where you can also get into the rears, so you can adjust all of those accordingly. You can also swipe down from the top and pull up the head-up display. You can get into your parking assist, the camera system, even that glove box release. And then in the lower section, there's some fixed information. You can get into the heated and ventilated seats, along with the heated steering wheel. Back to the climates, as I just showed, you can control where you'd like the air to go. You have another shortcut for that system. This is how you can also get into your headlights. So those are located within the screen, and you also have a park setting where you can go through some of that information. There's also another shortcut to the headlights, lane keeping assist, and then your passenger has a control for that. You can also get into your position here and adjust the memory seats. Now, underneath that, you do have some physical controls for that large infotainment system up top. So you don't have to use it as a touchscreen system. If you choose not to, you can quickly go through it by using these down below, and there's also a volume icon too. Now, behind that, there's hazards, auto hold, engine start stop. You even have a climate button that you can push on to gain access to that. You have a little bit of storage, along with a ton of storage and some auxiliaries underneath the armrest here. And then as we work our way to the passenger side, simply just tap on the screen and you can go through a little bit of information. Now, it's not quite as much as the infotainment system, but it's mainly to look at a little bit of information. You can shut that screen off as needed. So you at least have a few of these settings that you can look at, even some of the vehicle settings as well. And then underneath that, you saw the glove box with that release. And now we can take a look at how to put this into gear. That is located on the column there, where you can put it up for reverse, where you have a few different settings that you can get into. There's even a trailering mode, so you can monitor that. And then when you pull the stock towards you and down, that is for drive. You can also pull up the forward-facing camera, by doing that. And then park is going to be located on the end of the stalk. Now up top, there's also the digital rear view mirror along with garage door controls. And then you have a lot of controls up top. You can adjust how open you want that rear liftgate. You have rear seats you can fold down. There's dome lights and then sunshades and sunroof adjustments. And then here's a look at visibility. This is a long vehicle, but you have quite a lot of glass in both directions. So if you look slightly there and you use your side view mirrors, you can easily see around this jumbo SUV. As we set off behind the wheel now for the Cadillac Escalade, two things that I forgot to mention. One, the steering wheel does have a power control on the side in order to operate it. And number two, when you put on the turn signal, you'll actually see the camera pop up on the infotainment system. So you can see that in full view for both sides to see if there's anything in your way. This is something that Hyundai and Kia have been doing for quite some time. I believe that is new for the Escalade, so it gives you a full view. Would be nice to see that in the gauge cluster itself, just to be front and center, but nonetheless, you have technology features like that. Now, this is a big vehicle to drive. This is the first, basically the long wheelbase or the longer version that I've been able to drive. The previous Escalades that I've driven had the shorter length, so there wasn't quite as much room behind that third row. So if you're really looking to pack this full of people and cargo space, you have the option to go with this larger size here. And with its extra length, I think it would be cool to see rear wheel steering, as the full EV Escalade offers that. This is a long vehicle just like that. I think it would be neat to see rear wheel steering just to help provide better maneuverability for this vehicle. This is something that will be in parking lot situations and some tighter areas where it's not too hard to maneuver as is, but they already have that technology. I think maybe providing that for this longer length vehicle would be nice to see. But other than that, this is the second or third Escalade I've been able to drive, and it's definitely a very nice place to be. The new upgraded screen and the tech that this has to offer, I think Cadillac did a really nice job with its integration into the dash and just everything that you are getting for this iconic SUV. Now let's talk about the power from this model. So we can put it into sport mode by using that button, and then I can push L on the steering wheel, and this allows you to go into using the paddle shifters. So from second gear, here we go. Sounds pretty good. It's a heavy vehicle, but it can get up and move, and then we can just push on that button and go back into drive. Now the paddles are mainly going to be for if you're towing with this, you can use those, or if you just want to have fun shifting, you can do that, use them as I just did. But this sounds good. It's not overly loud. If you're looking for loud, you can go with the Escalade V, which I hope at some point I can review and check out, because I've been in the previous V model Escalades and they sound really, really good. So this is a little bit more tame for this lower trim level, if you want to call it that. It's still an expensive vehicle, but it also drives very nice. This is the first time I've been in a vehicle on a set of 26-inch wheels, and you can hear them just a little bit, but it's still going to provide you with a nice, comfortable ride. Seats are comfortable too. As far as headroom goes, I have about 2 or 3 inches at 5'10", and you can lower this too. So you can be much taller than me and still fit comfortably in this SUV. And in terms of its handling, you can feel the weight of it. This is not a cornering type of SUV, but it feels solid enough, obviously, to take it on some roads like this. And so still in sport mode, we'll let the vehicle do the shifting. Here we go. And just a mild acceleration. You can hear it a little bit. I'm sure you would hear more if you really stepped on it. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the new Escalade. Now, one thing I do want to touch base on is with this 10-speed transmission. I've been in some other brands that offer 10 speeds. This is driving surprisingly smooth with that many gears. Like I said, I've been in the Escalade before. I don't really even notice, feel, or hear any of the gear changes, which is very nice. For a luxury vehicle like this, that's what you would expect. It's very smooth on both the upshifts and the downshifts. So even if you are using the paddle shifters here, but for the roads and the driving that I'm doing today, there's no gear hunting with that many gears. So it's a nice smooth transition to give you that luxury ride that you are looking for, especially at this price point and in this type of SUV. But it drives very nice. You do sit high up. Now this model doesn't have an adaptive suspension, so there's no ride height for it, but for the standard suspension that it offers, it's definitely very nice. So if you're looking for a jumbo SUV, you want this iconic Escalade, it's a great option to go with. You have a lot of different trims, and you can also go with the EV version, which I have also been able to film if you want to take a look at that full review. But it's definitely great. We have some great technology aids. I can show that camera system again, so that way when you have your turn signal on, you can see a curb, traffic, if you're merging onto the highway, things like that. You have a full view there, which is nice. And side mirrors are also pretty large too, so that makes it very easy to see. Now in terms of its maneuverability, this is where I think rear wheel steering would come into play, because I am definitely going to have to back up on this side road here and turn around. But if you'll get used to the size of this vehicle pretty easily the more that you drive it. And of course, visibility is super easy to see on both sides. And then here we go with one last acceleration. And that is going to wrap it up for the Cadillac Escalade. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Northlake for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.